Hello, beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, wonderful people, and welcome to the Let Me Be Honest podcast starring me, Soraya. How are we doing? What is up? What is good? How's life been? What's up? I'll tell you what's up. Before we get into that, oh my god, there's a spider. Ew. Ugh. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, a fantastic start to your week. I'm filming this on Sunday, so you'll probably see this tomorrow. So I hope you are going to have a great week. I'm praying for blessings, praying for productivity, discipline, good energy, all that jazz. I've been doing okay. I've been trying to stay positive. I have a really bright future, and so I'm just waiting until that comes, which is my move out date. So we are ready to go. And yeah, so I have a lot of things upcoming. I think I'm just very overwhelmed right now. I would give my grade of the week probably, if it was going strong, but I'm gonna give it a C+, C-. So I had a lot of big bills coming in just all at once. I got a really random invoice from the company that I do therapy with saying that I owe them a lot of money because my insurance didn't go through on some of my sessions. So that was very disheartening, and so that came, and literally 2-3 days after, I'm driving, chilling, talking with my mom, and my bumper falls off of my car mid-drive. I was just chilling, went to go pick up my pizza, chilling, and now I'll show you a picture or wherever. But it looks real ghetto, real ghetto. And if y'all don't know me, I care a lot about I'm still working on it, but I care about a lot of I care about how people view me still. And I try to represent, be a positive image. Think a very classy girl, very, chill, not ghetto, whatever. And now I'm just driving around in this car. I'm not trying to drive in as much, but I'm trying to when I do drive in it, I already see people staring at me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like that at all. So that is a challenge that I am faced with right now because I have to pay for a new bumper. And until I can do that, I'm just going to, y'all know my job is driving. And so I'm just very worried about how it's going to look next week and I drive in the country. I drive everywhere, bro. I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but I was not okay the day it happened or the day after, which was yesterday. I stayed in my room. I watched TV all day, didn't really want to talk to anybody because I was just really fed up. I was just getting in a good spot. I've been tithing, just getting my budget together, and now I'm faced with these 2 giant bills that I have to figure out how to pay for while on top of getting ready to move into my new apartment, all in the same month. And so I started getting very frustrated with God, honestly, because I'm trying to do everything right, Lord. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to prioritize you. I'm trying to prioritize my money, like following you. Like, I'm trying to make you my default when it comes to situations. Like, why is everything happening to me? You know, I wasn't in a great place mentally for that day. I ended up journaling, and I said a prayer, and I was like, Lord, like, I know you're real. I know you're working through me. And I know that everything happens for a reason, but I'm really stretched thin right now. Like, I am... Oh my gosh, we're getting into the topic, but I'll say the topic in a minute. I just went straight into it. And so I prayed for specific things. I specifically prayed for joy. I was like, Lord, like, help me to have joy even when things are not going my way, you know? Like, I'm a very happy, like, chill person, but when it comes to certain circumstances, like, I really can let those things get to me. And like, I even could tell yesterday, like, I went to the gas station, and I was just so embarrassed because, like, I'm seeing people stare at me. Like, it was just a lot, and I just, you know, was talking to the cashier and whatever, and then I could hear myself just, like, talking really low, like, you know, very low energy type. And then, like, this morning kind of, or late last night, and this is going to be our topic, like, are my problems as big as they seem? That's going to be our topic. Like, are my problems as big as it seems? Because, you know, I talked to my parents and stuff like that about this whole situation, and they were like, that's life, you know, like, you just have to get pushed through it, da 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 da. And I'm like, am I being dramatic? You know, like, am I being dramatic? Like, do I really have the right to feel so discouraged and so, like, annoyed and upset that, like, these things are happening to me when literally, like, so many people are having way worse situations? Like, we have death, we have wars happening, sickness, illness, and I'm crying over how people look at me because my car does not look the way I want it to look. And I thought about that, and I did come to the conclusion. I was like, no, like, my problems are not too big, you know? Everybody's walk in life is different, you know? And everyone's challenges are different. Everyone's going to go through something, and how they feel about it is completely valid. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even though, you know, it can be a small problem to some people, but to me, like, this was it's a really big issue to me, you know? And I have the right to feel frustrated. I have the right to feel aggravated, to feel sad, to feel worried. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, like, your issue isn't the most extreme doesn't mean that what you're feeling it doesn't mean that your feelings are minuscule. It doesn't mean that what you're feeling is not valid, is not authentic, and that's okay, you know? And so I had to take that, because I was like, Soraya, like, even if, like, you know that the problem isn't as big or whatever, like, you cannot control your emotions to a certain extent. Like, you can't just, like, turn off your switch whenever you know that you shouldn't be crying over this little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to feel it, whether you like it or not. Because that's just how your body works. Like, they're going to feel things, you know? So, yeah, like, I had to come to that realization. So, whatever you're going through, whatever issues are happening, don't look at it as this is too big or too small, because one, nothing is too big or too small for God to handle. That's number one. And number two, you are human. You feel things. Let yourself feel things. Let yourself feel the hurt. Let yourself feel the anger, because it's valid. And that's how you process things. Now what we're going to talk about next is not letting it define who you are and how to move past that without letting it burden you, you know? And so, like I said, back to my story. So last night I had wrote in my journal, I said, Lord, I really need joy. I need you to show. I need you to walk through. I need you to show yourself, because I don't want to run to all of these different outlets when things get hard, when I know that I can lean on you. So help me to feel you when it comes to my circumstances, if that makes sense. Literally this morning, I go to church with some friends, and I can't remember the preacher's name because it was a guest speaker, but I will tag it in the link below on YouTube. And literally I was fine. And then he brought up the topic, and I just burst into tears, bro. Like, I was crying throughout the whole entire thing. Like, I was like, there's no way. Basically, the title of the sermon was How to Not Be Branded by Discouragement. I was just discouraged yesterday. And so he gave us a list of 5 things that we need to be doing actively when it comes to being discouraged, like being faced with a difficult circumstance. And he was like, you need to run through these 5 points so that you can properly cope with the situation, if that makes sense. The first one was choose truth, which basically means like what happened is real. What happened is valid. What happened you cannot control, and you have to understand that. You know, just because you're a Christian, just because like life is going great for you right now, does not mean that you're exempt from pain. And number 2, he said choose joy. And I was like, there's no way that he just said that, when I literally prayed for that last night, y'all. Like, I was like, Lord, show me how to still be joyful even when I don't feel happy. And he said that word for word during the sermon. And I was like, that was just like so like wildly comforting. Joy is attached to something that cannot be affected. The difference between happiness and joy: happiness is a temporary feeling that you get whenever something good happens. Joy is being able to still have that feeling, still trust in the Lord, still serve Him faithfully, because that inner joy is not affected by the outside world. You know, joy comes from something that cannot be affected, which is God. You know, so whenever you think about that, like, it just brings a whole new type of peace to you, because you're like, God is joy. God has given me joy. I know that I am a faithful servant. I know that I'm a child of God, and I know that He got me. So even though, yes, like my car looks good right now, and I'm feeling embarrassed and I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can still have that joy, because I know that I will prevail and that I will overcome this, because I serve someone who cannot be affected. So good, y'all. And then he also said, choose faith. And that's something that I have really been trying to work on, is being more faithful. Having faith does not make sense. Having faith does not make sense. Having faith can seem very weird in certain circumstances, but faith is having hope, you know? So even when things do not look hopeful, whenever things are they just You see no light at the end of the tunnel, which I also wrote in my journal, which is so crazy. Having that faith, knowing that you still have that hope, and that you're going to work towards what you've been praying for, God sees that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the Bible it says if you have faith, you can literally move mountains. And I always thought about that, because I was like, I feel like I have faith, but like, I can't move a mountain. Girl, you don't have no faith. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to be that extreme. But like, if you really believe, if you really have faith in a certain situation, like, your power is untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Well, God to you. You know what I'm saying? And then I just want to read a couple of verses, because I got hair to do in like 10 minutes. And so I just want to wrap things up. But Hebrews 11:6. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. We have to have faith. We have to seek him in order for us to be near to God, in order for him to work in our lives. You have certain prayers that you'll say, but you don't have faith. You don't believe. You're just saying it and just expecting a miracle. It doesn't work like that. You got to... Oh, I thought it was my wallet. I need to find my wallet. You have to trust him, and you have to have faith in order for things that you want or need according to God's will for you to happen. And then another verse was Philippians 4:4. This goes back to what we were talking about, joy. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonables be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. And then this next verse is, I have it written on a sticky note whenever I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and I still deal with it sometimes. But I try to say this verse whenever I can, just to remind myself that God is working. And it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. And I can't wait. I'm working right now to make this a habit, but I really can't wait till I'm able to master that and truly have God as my default, and know that because of me submitting my anxiousness to God, I will have a better peace about certain things just in my heart, you know, that I couldn't get if I was coping and running to other things to please me temporarily. And that's, again, it's easier said than done. I have habits, and I'm still struggling with falling onto certain things that don't benefit me as much as God will. But again, it's a work in progress. And again, this is why I started this podcast, because, you know, everyone is struggling with these things. Everyone is struggling with anxiety. Everyone is struggling with, like, out of the blue expenses. Like, and as being in our 20s, and even people who are younger or older, like, it's hard to realize that we don't have everything together. And we don't, though. So just having that reminder, all I can say is really, really, really try to make God your default. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is everything. And so why wouldn't you give it to him? And it's hard, I know, to comprehend, and I can't even comprehend it. But comprehend how big and powerful God is. But once you, and I think it's a good thing to practice. And I think people do think like this, but they kind of like give certain things the credit and not God, but everything is spiritual. That's what I always try to remind myself, is that everything is spiritual. Like, this world is so much bigger than our minds can comprehend. The impossible things happen all the time. So when you try to think of it in that way, it helps me have more faith in God, because I know that if I can try and broaden my thinking, then I can somewhat grasp how good God is, and how everything happens for a reason, and how we are in this world but not of this world. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. But I'm okay, y'all. I'm okay. Yeah, everyone has bad days. I had a bad day yesterday, but I'm working through it. And I just got a confirmation from God saying that He still loves me, He still cares for me, and He's working through me. And so I'm just gotta push on. But yeah, so the jewel of the week, I would say, really just trust, have faith, and what was the other one? What else we talk about, y'all? Choose faith, choose joy, and choose God. I hope you have a great week. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. Yeah. I love y'all. Have a great week. Bye.